What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package and infrastructure update and daily news report for Wednesday, August 4th. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on within the Senate and the White House right now. However, and I just want to be 100% clear on this, there is not a lot of new updates this morning, other than the fact that the Senate is trying to work out some disagreements. Right now, the Senate is currently haggling over about 250 plus proposed amendments for the $1.2 trillion infrastructure package. That is extremely important to understand because lawmakers are trying to change the bill. Now, some are trying to change the bill to make it smaller. Others are trying to change the bill to make it a little bit larger. These are mainly progressives. Some just want to change the verbiage, just want to make some minor tweaks. However, every minor tweak is an amendment. So, what you need to keep in mind is that some senators are using other people's amendments as leverage. And they are telling the other senators, oh, if you want my vote, then you need to do this and that. And so we're seeing a bunch of changes there. This is also causing more and more issues for senators right now because, according to some, there's not enough room in the bill in order to have over 250 amendments. Again, some of these amendments aren't going to happen, but they are being considered. Some amendments are simple changes, but many are requiring additions, and this is where things get very complicated. According to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, he says that this bill should come to a final vote sometime this weekend, but as the day comes, more changes could easily follow. And it's true. As we get closer to an agreement, senators are going to look at the bill and be like, oh, we forgot this. Let's add it in. Oh, we forgot that. Well, let's put it in. And then it goes back to negotiations. Now, Senator Jon Tester, a Democrat, he's one of the ones that helped negotiate this bill. He said, and I quote, "There are people holding amendments that really shouldn't be. Vote up or down, churn and burn, baby." That's his exact quote. The reason why you need to understand this is because senators just want to get this bill done. Okay? We got Republicans, then specifically Mitch McConnell, who wants to take their time. Look at the entire bill. Really make this a priority. However, not just come out and pass it just because Democrats want to get it passed so that they can work on the $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill right after. That's not what Mitch McConnell's plan is. He wants to delay the vote. He wants to reconsider this. He wants to look at all angles. He wants to make sure that this bill is exactly what they need. This is going to be a bipartisan bill. So, when asked when this bill will get a vote, Senator Jon Tester said it's probably going to be on Saturday. However, Mitch McConnell was adamant yesterday that he will not vote on this bill early. He wants to make sure he has enough time and that the Republican Party has enough time to look at the bill as well. What I can tell you, though, is that as every day passes, progressives want to include more into this bill. And there's a reason behind this. What we know at this time is progressives are pushing for more. They want to see an increase to the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill because they say that they want to be guaranteed it passes. And by putting it into the $3.5 trillion Democrat-only spending bill, there's no guarantee that it will pass. Here's what we know. What we're hearing is that the $3.5 trillion bill will most likely see additional cuts before it can even pass. This is something that many moderates believe needs to happen. That $3.5 trillion is just too expensive, that's something they cannot get behind. However, progressives have made it very clear that they want to see all their priorities, their top 5 priorities, included into the infrastructure package. Well, if they are not included into the $1.2 trillion package, they have to be included into the 3.5. But if there's cuts made there, chances are progressives would be some of the progressive priorities would be some of the first priorities that do get cut. Okay? Or they see some modifications. like smaller cuts. This means that we could see meals for school-aged children. There's possibly going to be immigration reform, and that's probably going to be in there. The Medicare expansion is going to be included. Free community college will be in here. And again, progressives are still pushing for stimulus checks. I mentioned yesterday and the day before that there is a new proposal out there from Representative Ilhan Omar to include a $1,200 monthly guaranteed income check. However, it starts in 2023, it expires in 2027, and if that trial period is successful, then in 2028, every single American would get a $1,200 check. But here's what you need to understand. Just giving out a stimulus check or monthly guaranteed income, according to many experts, is not the way to go. That giving out a monthly check is only going to cause issues with employment, and what we are hearing is that right now, it's not about the economy, it's not about poverty, it's not about the American people. That's not why we would get a check on a monthly basis. According to a few reports, one expert says that the reason why the U.S. Senate would even consider a monthly guaranteed income is only because their jobs are going away. That's it. So it's only because your job is going away. Your job is being taken over by, some artificial intelligence, computers, robots, right? That's what we're hearing, is that this is the only way Congress would even consider a monthly guaranteed income, is if your jobs just went away. That's it. So it's not about poverty, it's not about the economy, it's not about the American people. It's just about the jobs. So we'll see what happens there. What I can tell you, though, is that even though lawmakers are still discussing additional stimulus, direct payments, any assistance to the American people, what we know right now is that states were getting tired of waiting. States wanted to see additional relief, so they started sending out more stimulus checks. Here are just some of the states that have been sending out checks so far. We got California. They've been sending out checks for $500 and $600. This is one of the reasons why you may have seen that California is sending out $1,100 stimulus checks. It's because that $600 and $500 payment added up $1,100. Colorado, they've been sending out $375 checks to people who received unemployment. We got Maryland, they sent out checks of $500 and $300 for families and individuals. New Mexico recently passed a program to distribute about $5 million to their residents that didn't get any federal stimulus payment. And we also got Florida. They are sending out $1,000 thank you payments to educators and staff. So there is money that's going out. There's a pretty good amount of stimulus still going out into the American people's pockets. We do know that the unemployment, income tax that was taken by the IRS that shouldn't have, well, those payments are still going out. Some people are still receiving their $1,200, $600, and $1,400 stimulus checks. That is good news there. We know the IRS is slowly catching up on their federal income tax return. So hopefully you do get a income tax return and you can see some money back from that. That would be great news as well. And great news that we heard yesterday, and I reported on this yesterday as well, even when we were getting the reports on this, not just the confirmation, but we got that news that there's a new 60-day CDC eviction moratorium. Well, according to multiple reports, President Biden doesn't know if he has the legal ability to extend the moratorium, but he was going to do it anyway. What we are hearing right now is that President Biden was looking at two different things. Either let the eviction moratorium expire and millions of people would be evicted, and even just yesterday, there were a lot of evictions that have happened, okay, just because of that one-day lapse or kind of two-day lapse. What we also know, okay, is that President Biden thought, okay, it's either the eviction moratorium and let it expire, or I just go forward with it, hope it holds up for a little bit, and if it gets overturned, well, it gets overturned. At least he buys the American people some time to either, catch back up on rent, which is probably not going to happen. But the big thing is Let's see how quickly states can get out their rental assistance funding. That's the goal. And whether or not this eviction moratorium lasts an additional 60 days, really we don't know. But some are expecting we will see this get flipped. We will see this get overturned because the CDC does not have the ability to do this again. Now, here's where we're seeing some confusion. I want to really touch on this because I know a lot of people are wondering, are they protected or not? Here's what we know. About 90% of the U.S. population is protected under the new CDC eviction moratorium. That means about 10% of the U.S. population is not. Here's what you need to understand. The only people that are protected are those that live in a county with a high transmission rate. That is it. If you are seeing a spike in COVID cases in your county, chances are you are protected. You will see the eviction moratorium work for your county. If not, you are not protected. So, if your county isn't seeing an uptick in COVID cases, just understand that you could be evicted. Okay? The only way to tell is go to Google, you can go to your county, you can figure it out there. Okay? And you will know whether or not you have an eviction moratorium in place or not. So again, there is some confusion here. You can also call, there's a bunch of different places you can call. Just go to Google and look in your housing authority and for your area and see if you qualify or not. Because some people will, some people won't. And I don't want you thinking, hey, I can't get evicted, and then all of a sudden you get hit with an eviction notice and you got 24 hours to leave. Okay? So make sure you stay on top of that, look into it, and just see. One thing I just want to say is that according to health experts, the majority of the United States will eventually, probably within the next few weeks, will eventually all be in this high transmission rate or category. So that's just one thing I just want to throw out there, that most likely 100% of the U.S. population will be protected at some point. However, it's only estimated to be about 90% as of right now. So that's what we know right now. As I know more, I promise I'll come back on later on today and fill you in on all the latest news and updates. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Consider subscribing. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoyed today's update, and I'll see you guys on the next one.